Are you having a hard time with the class you chose in Maplestory? Good. Yo. Is the playstyle causing you frustration?
Oh my dude, like what is happening?
If so, you came to the perfect video. In today's video, we are going to go over the top 7 beginner-friendly classes in Maplestory. We're also going to go over a few classes that I personally would stay away from if you are a new player. With that being said, let's get right into today's video. If you're a brand new player or a returning player coming back to Maplestory, it can seem a little bit overwhelming on what class to pick. There are so many options to choose from, and the game doesn't do the best job at categorizing or describing a lot of these characters. Now, these classes are going to be in no particular order. They are just a list, and we're going to go down this list, starting with Wind Archer. And Wind Archer is a extremely good character. It is extremely easy to learn, and the survivability is top tier. Starting off, this class already is a beginner friendly class, as it is a hurricane class. Now, what does that mean? It means that you are able to hold down one skill, aka hurricane, and you're able to walk around and immediately able to stop attacking and dodge, which is very slept on in this game. People underestimate and undervalue how good zero animation attacks are and how easy it makes bossing in this game. When you're able to react immediately, it makes your experience so much better, and Wind Archer offers exactly that. Now, the playstyle of this class is very straightforward. It is a 2-minute burst class, which means its burst comes up every 2 minutes. Burst meaning it's going to do a big chunk of its damage every 2 minutes. The cooldowns come up every single 2 minutes, and you're gonna bind the boss and do a ton of damage. Essentially, how the bossing playstyle works of this class is you are going to go into a boss, pop your cooldowns, throw out your tornadoes, and then hold hurricane. This class is very simple, very straightforward. It does have a low cooldown skills, but all you're doing is pretty much tapping them every 10 seconds and every 30 seconds, and you are good to go. There is not much complexity in this class at all. Super easy, super straightforward. I actually have one as a hard loaded bossing meal. I absolutely love the playstyle, and the survivability on this class is top tier. It also has really good movement with wind walk that allows you to move side to side very quickly, and once again able to use it out of your hurricane animation, making this class a very good starter main. If you're thinking about playing an archer class, highly recommend Wind Archer. Moving on from Wind Archer, we're actually going to go into our first support class, and that is going to be Bishop. Now, this class is going to be a little contradictory, as it can be an extremely easy class but also an extremely challenging class as well, and we're going to get into that. Bishop is one of the better support classes in the game. It is very sought after in party bossing, and the solo bossing and solo damage is very good as well. It is a 2-minute and a 3-minute class, meaning it can flex between the two and play either or. This class, once again, just like Wind Archer, has amazing survivability. It has lifesteal, not even lifesteal, but the skill that you use, Angel Ray, while bossing permanently heals you. It also has a skill called Heaven's Door, which essentially gives you a free life every 9 minutes. It has a skill called Fountain, which you can put down, press up on, and heal your character to full HP, which also works in party bossing as well. And the bossing on this class is nothing short of great. One thing to take into consideration with Bishop is it actually has a skill called Holy Symbol, which gives you 50% bonus EXP, which is going to make your training that much better than everyone else around you. The class also has very good mobbing. Now, the reason why I recommend Bishop on this list, because it is as good as it is. Even though it can be a little complex, it's not a hard class to pick up, but more so a challenging class to learn to the maximum efficiency. Nonetheless, if you want to play a support class, I highly recommend Bishop. This class is very good. Moving on from Bishop, we are gonna move on to Bowmaster. This class is actually my main. I love this class, and I highly recommend Bowmaster to any new player that is picking up this game, and I'm going to go into detail as to why. Bowmaster once again has amazing survivability. You are not going to die on this class. It has lifesteal with its blood arrows. It has dummies that are constantly going to regenerate and tank attacks, and essentially just lets you focus on doing damage to the boss, which is one of the most important things in my opinion. Not having to worry about what your specific class is doing, but more so worrying about what the boss is doing and focus on dealing damage to the boss. Now, Bowmaster is a 2-minute burst class, which once again means that its burst comes up every single 2 minutes, and the damage output is extremely simple, and it's probably one of the easiest burst setups in this game. Literally, you press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on your keyboard, and then you hold down Hurricane, and you do all of your damage. A lot of the skills on this class as well are auto target, which means that it's going to continuously hit the boss even when you're not hitting the boss, making this perfect for any new player starting off in the game. Bowmaster is also a Hurricane class too, which means you're going to be able to react to attacks faster and bosses, which once again is going to keep you alive more often than others. You're probably going to be the one that's never dying out in your party bossing, and overall I just think Bowmaster is the most beginner friendly class in this game, hands down. Highly recommend Bowmaster. Moving from Bowmaster, we actually are going to have its counterpart, Marksman. Now, if you don't enjoy Bowmaster's playstyle, you're actually able to job change to a Marksman, vice versa, Marksman to Bowmaster. Marksman is exactly like Bowmaster in the playstyle, as you are just pressing your cooldowns off cooldown and then holding down your bossing skill. This class does have a 60-second quote-unquote mini burst. It's literally just a sniper shot. Other than that, you are just holding down one button. And just like Bowmaster, Marksman has its uniqueness when it comes to its survivability slash bossing mechanics. It has a skill that is a dummy that will literally negate all bossing mechanics in certain boss. You can put down a skill and the boss will just auto target that skill, meaning you can just sit on the opposite side of that dummy, hold down your bossing skill, and the boss will just auto target and attack that dummy. It won't even attack you. You don't even have to worry about the bossing mechanics for the most part. You can just focus on doing damage to the boss, which once again is the most important thing in bossing. Marksman, unlike Bowmaster, does not have that much survivability, and this class can feel a little bit clunky as it's not Hurricane. But if you don't mind the animation of skills and being skill locked for a little bit, I highly recommend Marksman. The damage output is absolutely phenomenal, and it is a 2-minute class as well. Moving on from Marksman, we're actually going to be moving on to another support that actually is extremely good for Marksman and Bowmaster, Shade. So this class is actually one of the best support classes in the game currently. It offers a skill called Shade Split, which is essentially a 10-second support skill that is going to be giving 15 FD to the entire party every 2 minutes. This class also is extremely good with archer classes in a party bossing scenario. It's offering a ton of crit rate and crit damage, which is going to convert into a shit ton of final damage for archer classes with vicious shot. Class also has a very good kit with its backstep and having survivability like lifesteal, and does have a skill called Foxfire, which is going to negate a ton of bossing mechanics. Once again, just like all these other classes, allowing you to focus on the actual boss instead of your class. The only complexity of this class is really just setting up your burst order in the right way, but that is something that I think any new player will find out and figure out if they actually want to play their class properly. Moving on from Shade, we're going to be talking about another extremely good class, and that is Nightwalker. This class is doing way too much damage for how beginner friendly this class actually is. This class, like all the other classes, has great survivability as well. It has an overshield, it has lifesteal, and it has a built-in door skill just like Bishop. And aside from all the survivability that this class has, the gameplay is extremely smooth. It plays like a hurricane class, meaning that you're able to dodge boss mechanic quicker. It has a on-demand, no cooldown backstep. Essentially, you're pressing all of your cooldowns every 3 minutes, and you're just holding down your main attacking skill. Nightwalker also has a 90-second mini burst. This class is super simple to play, and the damage output is unreal. You are probably going to be out damaging every single party member with ease. And last on this list, we actually have Buccaneer. Once again, Buck is a super easy to play, super easy to learn class. It actually has a skill that just auto attacks the boss permanently. You actually don't even have to do anything, and this skill, Lord of the Deep, does so much damage. Class also has very good survivability, which is defense form that generates a shield for 3 seconds that takes 25% damage. And this is going to non-stop proc while you're bossing, allowing you to focus on the bossing, which I think is one of the best things to consider when picking a main. This class is very good for solo bossing, and this is a 3-minute class, which means its big burst is going to come up every single 3 minutes. It does have a mini burst skill with its Howling Fist that is going to be iframed. And one good thing about this class while bossing is, unlike every other class on this list, you are not going to have a problem getting your burst off while bossing. Buccaneer is actually iframed during its entire burst. This class also has amazing movement. It has horizontal, it has vertical, and it has diagonal movement, making this class very, very good in bossing scenarios. Now, like I said earlier in the video, I was going to go over classes that I do not recommend you play, and we're going to go over those now. Classes that I don't recommend any newer player to play is going to be Cadena and Blaster. Honestly, if you want a challenge, pick these classes up. But if you are a brand new player and you are not familiar with Maplestory at all, I guarantee you're going to pick Cadena and Blaster. You're going to do no damage in bosses. You're not going to understand how the classes work, and you are more than likely not going to play the game because of frustration and because of the complexity of these classes. Another class that I do not recommend for newer players to pick up is Kana. This class is a non-GMS class, and it just does not feel that great to play in the current state of this game. A couple other classes that I wouldn't necessarily recommend a brand new player to pick up is probably gonna be classes like Zero, Adele, classes that just have a bunch of spammy skills and you're not stop having to press buttons. I always recommend for newer players to pick a more simple class, and then if you want to move over to a different class because you're not liking the simplicity, you can always go for something a little bit more challenging. But that simple class is going to allow you to get the game mechanics down first and understand how the game works and how the bossing works, and then you're able to get a little bit more in-depth with classes and move on from there. But regardless, those are going to be my top 7 classes that I recommend for any new or returning player to Maplestory. If you guys have any classes that you recommend for newer players, definitely leave those down in the comment sections below. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.